Okay, we should be live. Okay, I'm just going to wait for everybody. First try. Yeah. Okay, so while I'm waiting, Alan Cole is here. Door prize goes to Alan. I'm going to change the sign out. Andrew is here. Tommy's here. Cool, cool. So I bet you couldn't wait, huh? Frodo Joe or Bushy is here. Mike Tufts and Jesse is here. Hello, hello. Yeah, we're going to put this one in this time. If I knew why it happens, then I wouldn't do it. Yeah. People ask me, why did you do that? It looks messed up. I know. I don't know why I did it. I don't know why I did it, and I don't know why it did it. You've been doing this for a long time and you don't know? Yeah. Amazing, isn't it? It's called the probabilistic skill, which means it's ruled by probabilities, not control. Nothing is controlled. Everything's probabilities. You can direct things, but you cannot control them. All right. Let's see. So Harley or Smallzilla made me this sign. It's got lights and everything on the inside. He 3D printed it. And yeah, it's high-tech 3D printing stuff. A lot of nappers don't like high-tech stuff, but too bad. If you're new, I nap in the second hour, so come back later. This is a 2-hour live stream. If you're new and don't know what's going on, come back in the second hour if you want to see Flintknapping. Yeah, you're too early for the Flintknapping. All it is chat the first hour. Yeah, nothing but boring for the Flintknapping addicted. The first hour is not worth much to them. Yeah. If you're addicted to Flintknapping, you're not going to like the first hour. Or maybe you do if you're one of the community. Kiefer's is here. Hello, hello. Alan says he's rolling cigars for my high school reunion. I have another 30 or so to get done. I've got some that Alan gave to me. I haven't broken into these yet. This is my humidor. Yeah, I was given these. Alan gave me a bunch. Let's see. I still got to smoke more of that pipe tobacco. We'll see. Oh, these are really good. I mean, these are well wrapped or well rolled. Yeah. Nice and neat. So who else we have? Sam is here. It's not even 8 o'clock yet. Everybody's here almost. Yeah, I have to start a little bit early. I might not go live a little bit early because it takes me sometimes 2 or 3 attempts. So can we see the sign? Oops. There's a glare on it. How about like that? How about that? If I knew why it happens, then I wouldn't do it. Yeah. Brandon is here. Hello, hello. I got some brewskis. This is one of my favorites. Yeah, it's a holdover from Texas. They got mostly IPAs up here in Vermont, and I don't like them. Nope. This one's a lager, I think. I don't know. It's not an IPA, I don't think. Yeah, it's a Pilsner style lager. These are my favorite. Pilsner style lagers. But I can only sip little bits at a time because it messes with me these days. Yeah. And if I had, I used to have lime with those too, but don't eat no limes no more either. Mike Mason says, hey, yo, Jim Maine, I've got your box of stuff. I got a box from Jim Maine. In case you're wondering what I might nap, I don't know yet. I got Jim Maine's box right here. He sent me some chola from Belize. I might nap this because it's a good color. It'll show up. It'll show up in the light. Whereas if I get some of this Jefferson City, it's very light colored. It doesn't show up well when I flint nap. Or I can do the Georgia chert. That shows up pretty good. He sent me some weird obsidian looking stuff. I forget what he calls it. But it's almost like a basalt. I forget what he calls this. I might nap that, but it's dark, so it's not going to show up. So I probably won't. Then I've got some, what looks like Fort Payne, dark Fort Payne shirt. I think I might save this for a project I'm working on. I'll probably nap this chola from Belize. I think it's heat treat. All right, so I think I'll keep that here in the napping box. I got mahogany obsidian in the box too, but I don't nap glass or obsidian in the house. I'm in the house in case you can't tell. I'm not going to nap obsidian in the house. So I got this box from Jim Maine that I'll be keeping in the house. I'll be keeping in the house for napping on video on the live streams. And then I get a box from Bill Hansen. Is he in the house? Not yet. Mac Bales is here. So Bill Hansen sent me a bunch of stuff. This is Brazilian agate heat treat, and it's translucent. Can't see it because I don't have my flashlight. Do I have it in my box? No, I got 2 flashlights, but none of them are. Oh, yeah, there it is. I try to keep little flashlights close by. It's got translucency. I don't know if I'll nap this on a live stream because it's so thin. These slabs are not easy. Or I got some heat treat coral. It's not translucent. Nether's heat treated to 550, right? I knocked off a piece, so I can't read it fully. So this is a lot of stuff that I've got now in the house for future live streams. So whatever I choose at random, I suppose, that's what I'm going to nap. I feel like I'm missing something. I got the microphone. It should be on. Hopefully it's on. Let's see. If there's a blue light. Okay. I got to learn to take this stuff off in a specific order and put it on in a specific order. I got to take my glasses off first and then the microphone. Let's see. It's got to be in the right position. It's got to be in the right position or I'm going to hit it while I'm flint napping or blow into it while I'm talking. So it can't be too far in front or too far down. Luckily, this thing bends. All right. Danny Moore is here. Where did they get all that foreign rock? Connections. One word, connections. Or Nappins. Yeah. I'm surprised. I mean, Bushy, you go to Nappins and you should see all this stuff at the Nappin. You should be able to see all this stuff. Mike Tufts is here. Hello, can I take your order, please? Let's see. Everyone's saying hi. Yeah. Okay, it's 8:01, so we've officially started the live stream. So what do we talk about? I don't know. Doesn't matter. We don't even have to talk. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to sip that once in a while. Very little. I don't drink much anymore. Or I was smoking cigars pretty regular for 2 years, but I stopped smoking it regularly. So now it's like once a week, something like that. Coincidentally, on the channel news, Carson is here. Ken is here. Prairie Ghost Ken is here. Yeah. I mean, it's Friday night, right? It is Friday. Sometimes I forget. Yeah, I just typed the title of the live stream. It better have been Friday because then I would have gotten the title wrong. But the time is 8:02, so the only time I have a live stream at 8:02 is Fridays. That's pretty bad if I can't remember that. All right, so um, Carson says, literally, I was trying to practice some Flintknapping with some glass and saw this. Well, welcome to the fun house. Yes, where we just goof. Red-eyed Patriots here. We just goof around for the first hour, and then I might Flintnap. Oh yeah, I asked for at least one super chat before I start Flintnapping. And if I don't get one, I nap when I'm really sad, and it affects the Flintnapping. Yeah. Ken says, what's everyone's big plans for the weekend? I have the annual Métis Rendezvous tomorrow. I'll be performing fiddle music for it. It's raining, so I'm stuck inside, not able to nap. Oh, dang. Kiefer says, I stopped drinking over 26 years ago, but I ran out and got some good and plenty candy and just ate a whole box waiting for live chat. You got it too early. Yeah. I haven't had good and plenty candy in decades. Alan Coles, buckle up, Carson. Brutus is here. Howdy, all. Better 50% like to viewer ratio. Yeah, we got lots of likes so far. Michael says, Patrick, I got 2 grandbabies on the way now. My youngest just found out she's pregnant. My oldest is due on Thanksgiving Day. Oh, dang. Lots of grandchildren are on the way, it looks like. Oh, Kiefer says, oh, yeah, and I'm a type 2 diabetic. Well, that puts a big damper on everything. I had symptoms of pre-diabetes. So, I was pre-diabetic. Ken says, I've been sober for 4 years from hard drugs, but I have the odd beer every few months. I've been working on a 6-pack of Red Stripe for a week and a half. Red Stripe. Have I had Red Stripe? I think I might have had it one time. I don't remember it. If I did, I don't remember what it tastes like. Oh, I wanted the bottles for napping, but they suck. I found kombucha. Kombucha bottles are better. Well, there you go. Bren says, I happened across a picker's dream today. Some folks moving out. Mom and son collected everything, helped them sort stuff rather than take advantage. And they really helped me out by letting me get some killer deals, including a bunch of points made and found from my local materials. So you have artifacts now from that estate? Nice. Okay. 10 years for Red-Eyed Patriot. Sober 10 years. Tommy Taylor is here. 15-year-old grandson was born on Thanksgiving. Well, yeah. 3 of my children were born right around Thanksgiving. Yep. My second oldest daughter was born after Thanksgiving, not too many days after. And then my sons were born like a day or two before Thanksgiving. The date for Thanksgiving changes because it's the 3rd Thursday. So sometimes their birthdays are close to Thanksgiving and sometimes they're not. Anyway, all these Sagittarius kids. Brent says, yep. Mac Bale says, Prairie Ghost Kin, you got a carbon fiber fiddle and bow, unaffected by dampness. Oh, get you a carbon fiber fiddle. Okay. That way you can play when it's raining out. Let's see. What was I going to say? Oh, I mentioned Sagittarius kids. I'm not into the horoscope thing, so don't get me wrong about that stuff. But at one time, everyone was into that. The family was looking into all that stuff, and you know how you go through phases. The whole family gets like involved in something, and then that's it. After a few weeks, it's ADHD. We all have ADHD. You know, we get infatuated with something, and then we give it up in a few weeks or a few days. But we dive into it and learn a lot about it. And we could become obsessed for short periods of time. Let's see here. All right, so everyone's talking to everybody else. Very nice. We got 23 people watching. We usually get about 40 by the time I start napping, between 35 and 40. So looks like people left and they're going to be hopefully coming back. Either that or they got plans. They got something better to do than just hang around on a live stream. Right? We're still live. Yes. The clock is ticking. And people, they say they want to see something real, but they don't watch the live streams. Right? Yeah. Carson says, I was trying to finish the notches on an arrowhead earlier and it broke on me. Welcome. Mike says, remember that one guy, royal guy who lost his old, said he would. Okay, I don't remember. I don't know what that is. Jim Cooper's here. Did I tell you guys I adopted a dog last month? I don't know. It sounds familiar. Bushy says, I might fall asleep, but I've been out all day and a long day yesterday. Sorry. Nah, don't worry about it. Tommy Taylor, 23 viewers, only 16 likes. Oh, yeah. Oh, well, we'll let them wake up a little bit. You know, they may not be fully awake yet. Max says, Prairie G, I have a 5-string carbon fiber that I really like. Talking about violins. Jim Cooper has a husky that's full of personality and deviousness. Yeah, I've heard different stories about huskies. Mike Mason says, dang, sorry, Pat, that was a bad typo. Yeah, sometimes I can't read some of these comments. You guys are typing too fast or something. And then all these typos come out. Hey, Sal's in the house. Okay. He says, okay, I'm here. Rest easy, guys. Brutus is here. Or he said, Sal. Everyone say hi to Sal. Yes. They're just starting to already. Okay, what am I going to do? Is Mike Tufts? I think Mike Tufts is in the house. One of the ends of the hammer, like the double-headed hammer you sent me, the copper one with the big copper caps. One of the copper caps has already fallen off one side of the big hammer. What did I do? I don't know what I did. I only used it once. And I think the epoxy seal broke because of the heat. It's been over 110 degrees in the shop this past week, at least twice. Let's see. Oh, I see what you meant, Mike. Yeah. This member of a royal family had a horoscope that said, stay home and watch out for death. He went anyway, jousting instead and wound up unalive. Yeah, that's what you get. Mhm. Except when it doesn't happen, then that's not what you don't get. Yeah. So I got stuff I can nap. I don't know what I'm going to nap. I'm probably going to nap this heat treat from Belize. It's been a while. I've napped rocks from Belize before, raw and heat treat. I ended up heat treating the rocks from Belize myself the first time around, but it naps well raw. Yeah, I didn't have any trouble with it in a raw state. I must have got some good pieces. But anyway, uh, I got this, and I got some other stuff too. So maybe I'll sample several different pieces. Maybe I'll start early, like I'll start before the top of the hour, so I can get two or more pieces started. What about the other pieces that I started on the last live stream? I'm gonna nap those off camera because it gets too tense. Uh, Mike Tuff says, "Yeah, maybe you should send me an email or a text message, Patrick. Yeah, I need to take a picture of the hammer and show you." Brent says, "Yeah, anytime you go for a joust, you should expect your horoscope to include death." Jim Cooper says, "I picked up some new Flintknapping books from a guy named Ray Harwood. They aren't about how to nap. They are a collection of mini bios of famous nappers, both modern and historical." Yeah. Blades. Sal says, "What's up to all my rock slingers?" Not a drug dealer remark. Yeah, for some reason, YouTube thinks when you mention rock outside the context of music, it means drugs. I don't understand it. Kiefer says, "I like the color pat of the rock." Is that your pick for tonight? Yeah, I'm definitely going to nap this tonight, but I'm looking to see maybe I can nap some other stuff too. I got a box from Bill Hansen. Yeah, it's got a bunch of good stuff. I did a unboxing, and there's a large variety of stuff. Now he sent me a big chunk of obsidian slab, but I'm not going to nap that in the house. No, no, no. I don't care what you say or nothing. This is raw. This looks like obsidian, but it's a type of stone. Can you read what that is? HOTO something or other. But I'm missing the first letters because it broke. I forgot what that is. Maybe I'll nap that. But it looks like obsidian, but it's not. I need some of that black material for a project. I keep breaking all the black shirt that I got, and I found Ray Valente. Let's see, yeah, Ray Valente's black Vermont shirt. I will nap that on video one of these times. What did I miss? I found a rock in my turkey cooker this week. Looked like I couldn't nap it, so I cooked it at 450 for 4 hours, and it came out great and glossy and napped great, says Bushy. That's good. Awesome. It's good that surprises that are good surprises are awesome and rare in Flintknapping. I blame Sal for the rock interpretation. Sal says, "Patrick, I uploaded my artifact video of one point I found back in the day. Check it out when you can." Awesome. Florida Joe says, "Hornstone?" I don't know. It's See if you guys can figure that out. It's HO, right? HOTTON. I don't know what that last letter is. If it was an E at the end, after the N, I guess that's N. That it would be hornstone, but it's not hornstone. Looking at it, it's very fine grained something or other, and it broke easily. All I did was tap it, and it broke during the unboxing. Coshocton? Yeah, Coshocton. Cochon. Coshocton. I think that's what that is. It's raw. So if it's nappable, you see what I did? No, it's off out of view. I hit it to see if it would crack again, and it did right there. So it cracked along some weakness in the material, but it's not a bad deal. So this looks, it's Coshocton. So anybody that has experience with Coshocton, let me know what you think of it. Of course, every rock is different, so this might be the one in a million that is all glossy. Yeah, but I thought you're not supposed to give advice on rocks. You never do. Well, I do sometimes. I just tell you guys not to depend on it. Yeah, because a lot of new guys, they get all bent out of shape. They go, well, I need to know. It's got to be known, because if I don't know it, I'll die. Or I'll die a Flintknapper's death and go to Flintknapper hell. No, you don't just need to, just start napping it. I just wanted to see if you guys know. It doesn't matter if I get the information or not. I'll nap it anyway. Mike Mason says, I was drinking and watching your short, Sal. Had me thinking, imagining a guy that made that so long ago getting in on the woodpecker lips choke. Coshocton. Yeah, Mike Tuff says Coshocton. Okay, so it's SH, not CH. Coshocton. Yep. Carson says, I'm going to go, but I'll be back. All righty. No problemo. 2 pieces is better than 1 piece, says Mike Tuff. Yeah. Gives me 2 chances. Sal says, don't forget about the sweet heat treat amoeba flakes I sent you. Oh, yeah, I've got those. Yeah, and I've got the... I got another chunk of heat treat from you. Or I don't know if this is amoeba, but I don't know if it's a heat treat. But yeah, I've got your box with all the other stuff. Yeah. I'm saving it. I don't know if I want to nap any of that on video because it risks breaking it unnecessarily. Yeah. Why would I want to gamble with it? Oh, and I cleaned out my shop today. Dang, that was a hard thing. And I still didn't get all the dust out. There's this thick layer of glass dust on everything. I hope I didn't overexpose myself over the winter when I was napping a lot of obsidian in the shop in winter when I had everything closed up. Now that I've cleaned the shop out, I noticed that there's a layer of glass dust on everything. So I gotta vacuum all that stuff out of there. I got a good portion cleaned out. And I emptied out the shop of all my stacks of boxes and put it in a bin outside the house over here. So it's easily accessible. I got to get another bin too. These bins are big though. They're the size of what is this? What is it? I mean, I could make a doghouse out of these bins. Anyway, big plastic bins outside. They got this lid that flips up. It doubles as a bench. Yeah. Anyway, I need to get another one. I've got 2 already, and then they're both full of rocks, and I need another one just so I can keep my shop empty. Hey, One-Eyed Dog is here. I don't know if I've seen you before. Hey, everyone. I showed up a little late this evening, but I'm here. Awesome. It's only 20 minutes in. Sal says, funny how you can find flakes all over the place. I find flakes stuck in the sheetrock like ninja stars. Yeah, I have done that. I found flakes stuck in the wood in my shop. Not this one, the one in Texas. This one I don't go crazy napping really difficult stuff to nap. Let's see here. One-Eyed Dog says, anyone know of any nappable materials in the Chattanooga area? Is that Tennessee? Because if it's Tennessee, there's lots of Fort Payne chert and stuff around there. Yeah, there's Fort Payne chert. There's lots of different stuff. There's Dover chert in Tennessee also. There's something that I call Tennessee River Rock. It looks like a pinkish color rhyolite looking stuff, right? But it naps a little bit better than rhyolite. There's also rhyolite in Tennessee. But you need to heat treat a lot of this material that you find in Tennessee that's not that great. There's a bunch of stuff in Tennessee. I mean, that's one of the places where the variety of nappable materials is large. You got quartzite, you've got Dover chert, you've got this Tennessee River stuff. There's a bunch of different creek rocks that are nappable, and I don't know what they're called as far as the cherts go. Various cherts in these creeks that you can nap. And Fort Payne, if I hadn't mentioned that already, is there too. K County. Jim Cooper says, I think K County comes from Tennessee. Yeah, probably so. I don't remember. Let's see here. What are you talking about? Earthquakes and stuff, Mike? Let's see. Bren says, you're very south in Tennessee. You should be able to find lots of Fort Payne, but being close to northern Alabama and Georgia, I'd imagine there's lots of other stuff. There's also coastal plains. If you go across the border, South Tennessee, you go across the border into other states, you can find coastal plains chert. There's a bunch of stuff in that area. I had someone send me some kaolin chert. He lived in Tennessee, but I don't know if he collected the kaolin in Tennessee. It's beautiful stuff. Kaolin chert is beautiful stuff. So he says, One-Eyed Dog says, thanks for the info. Oh, you're welcome. Let's see. Sal says, I haven't even scratched the surface of napping all these cherts. Yeah, that's the way it goes. When you get spoiled when you're in Texas, you're just napping all Texas stuff. I had to go to different nap-ins and then make some more connections during the nap-ins to get a lot of this other material. Yeah, I napped strictly Texas rock for like 5 years. And once in a while, I get a little slab of something else. Someone would say, hey, you want a piece of this stuff? I broke it. I'm not going to nap it because it's too small for me. You want it? I said, yeah, give it to me. What is it? And back then, I was one of those people that wanted to know exactly what it was, where it came from. Did you heat treat it or did it not? You know, what's the properties of it, blah, blah, blah. And I learned over time that I shouldn't even worry about that stuff. I was trying to memorize all this stuff in the beginning, and it drove me nuts, especially when it didn't work out the way it's supposed to work out. I was one of those guys that says, I tried to do it and it didn't do it. Someone would give me a piece of uh, quartzite, like Tallahassee, and I would try napping it, and I would look at this other guy napping it, and his point was beautiful, and mine was crud with steps all over it. And I said, "You told me I could nap it, but it didn't do it." Yeah, you got a bad piece, you know. It doesn't all. It's not all the same. Well, now you tell me. Dang it! I spent all this time on it. Didn't tell me. Horse Creek is in Tennessee. Also, there you go. And Buffalo River probably too. If it naps, it naps. Yeah, I learned. I mean, you can still pursue the that hobby of actually learning all the rocks. Some people love learning rocks. I'm a rock hound and a napper. Tell me what it is first, because it kind of gets me intoxicated. So then I can nap better. Hmm. Bryn says Tallahassee seems like there's a bazillion different types in various colors and patterns. It seems that way, yeah. And I still got to find the Tallahassee that was sent to me. I didn't go through all my rocks in the shop, so hopefully I'll find that batch of Tallahassee and start napping it. Let's see. Brent says, and the grain tightness scared me to get any. What does that mean? Let's see. So yeah, I used to get all bent out of shape when I didn't know what something was called. Yeah, and I was very upset when I was not able to chip it with antler. I used to be one of those guys that tried to chip everything with uh, antler billets first, and it didn't do it. I would get highly upset because how did they do it back in the day when you don't doesn't chip with antler? You can use stupid um, dogwood billets and weird hammerstones and what's going on with all that stuff. Yeah. Eventually, you learn that every tool can be used on almost any material. You just got to get used to it. It takes a lot of practice. That's all it is. New guys say, "Tell, give me the tips and the advice and all that." Okay, first tip: indirect percussion is going to save your butt. Yeah, but no one uses it hardly. You know, it looks stupid too. Just do it. And then the other thing that'll save you is experiment with different things and different techniques when you're first starting. Don't follow exactly what someone tells you. Okay, try a bunch of stuff. I mean, you can follow someone, sure, and then do it exactly like they do. I'm not saying you can't do it that way, but I'm saying experiment a little bit in the beginning. Yeah, don't get locked into a certain thing because then it's hard for you to explore different options later. But if you start in the beginning with different options and don't care too much and don't worry too much and don't get too bogged down in what the right way to do it. You got to do it right. Okay, do it right. Don't get bogged down in doing it right. That's my advice. Tim Cooper says, even when you have to admit having recognized names for materials, you can help it can help you in acquiring them, especially from other dealers or nappers, especially when you need something specific. Yeah, I mean you can tell them what you need. Um, it's funny because would I would go to a nap in and this guy has got a ton of different stone, and I noticed that some of it might not be as high grade as I've seen before, and I'm tempted to go, yeah, I want some of that, but I want the good stuff. Where you got the good stuff? Like if you go to a like you see in the movies, you go to a gun dealer and he has just the hunting stuff out front, and then the guy says, "I need to see the good stuff," so he brings them back in the vault, and there's the good stuff. That's what I'm thinking. A lot of these rock sellers have. They have the vault with the good stuff, right? So even though you'd ask them and ask them or tell them exactly what you want, what you need, they're going to give you what's behind the counter when you walk in. so to speak. Yeah, we got this and that. Yeah. You've got to be like connected to get to the vault in the back where the good stuff is. Yeah. So yeah, if you know the name of the material, it's good. But to get to the vault in the back, you've got to have money or a connection, or you just got to have a good personality or something. Because if the guy doesn't like you, he's going to say, "That's all I got, man. That's it. Can't help you. I mean, that's all I got. I can help you with what I got, and that's it." I'm just letting you know how sometimes things work, because it reminded me of certain situations. That's all. Brennan says, once I made my first something out of nothing using indirect, and I realized how many nothings could have been somethings. I realized that indirect was really something. Yeah, see, there you go. Hmm. But some people say, no, I'm not going to try it. Or I try it, it works, but I'm only using it in special occasions when it's absolutely necessary. Okay, no worries. I think every situation is absolutely necessary. Let's see. What are we talking about now? I'm going to read the chat until it's 9 p.m. Eastern. So I'm trying to. If you have questions, please ask before the napping starts at the top of the hour. I'm looking to see if there's questions and stuff, and if there's something interesting in the chat, I want to get in on it. Yeah, I'm being nosy. Jim says I'm connected like that in the Arizona rock shop where they let me in the back. Yeah, there's one rock shop in Texas that I went to. I told the guy I'm looking for just stuff like obsidian because he had obsidian on the shelf, and I said I'm a flint napper, and I see you got some obsidian. I'll take some of that. And he says you're a flint napper, right? I said yeah. He says okay. Well, have you ever napped elevates? And I said yeah, I've napped some of that, but I've had to heat treat it. And he goes yeah, I know what you mean. And we started getting into a conversation, and he goes you know what? I've got a lot of elevates. I want to see what you think of it. So I got to go to the back. He had literally hundreds of pounds of chunks of elevates of different qualities, different colors of real elevates. And he was going to use those for tumbling and because it was kind of broken up and stuff. He wasn't going to use it for flint napping. And he says, is this sellable to flint nappers? Because he's thinking about going to a nap-in or whatever to sell some stuff. I said, well, it's broken up. It looks like you collected it from the surface back in the day because it looks like he's had it for a long time. You used to be able to go and collect it. Now it's it's getting even rare on private property because all the surface stuff has been taken away. Anyway, so it's pretty broken up. You can slab it and then tap it. It'll crack along the existing cracks if you slab it, and you'll have little chunks and pieces that you can make arrowheads out of. But it's probably a better idea for you to shape and tumble it and to make little pendant size objects out of this stuff rather than trying to nap it, because sometimes you don't get anything out of it napping, but you could have gotten a little piece that you can make jewelry out of it. So that was my advice to him. He says, yeah. And he had a lot of translucent elevates with the clear, almost like a quartzite looking pockets in it. I said, yeah, it might be better just to jewelrytize it all instead of trying to nap it. Buckskin NYB is in the house. Marty's here. There's rock laying all over there. Where is he talking about? Okay, I got a load of Glass Buttes rock, and I am going to hop on the train home now. Awesome. He says there's rock laying all around at Glass Buttes. That's what I hear. I'll be there someday. Marty, I'm peanut butter and jealous. I haven't heard that one before. That's pretty good. Buckskin says, yeah, salad's a napper's dream. Bill Taylor's here. Hey, everybody. Just got home. Hello. Awesome. So, yeah, it's a. They say it's really hot, though, this time of year in Glass Buttes. Is that true? Or at least it's dry now. I've heard stories. I forget who was telling me that he got stuck a couple times trying to go up there in the spring. Jim says, Patrick, you start skipping and giggling like a schoolgirl at Glass Buttes. Seeing all that rock makes you all giggly, huh? Yep, I know what you mean. There's places like that in Texas where there's chert everywhere. It's small pieces, but it's like everywhere. Brutus is here. Speaking of Glass Buttes, howdy, Bill. Yeah, in the desert, you want to go in the fall or the spring, says Jim. Okay. It was in the 80s when I was there, says Marty. Okay. Yeah, I've heard about drastic weather up there at Glass Buttes. Sal asks me, Patrick, did you sinew back your bows or any of them? Yeah, I've sinew backed my bows before. Yeah, especially if it's a dicey juniper bow. Did I sinew back anything else? I think I sinew backed an oak bow. Just a red oak bow I bought from, a lumber bow that I bought from Home Depot or something. I put sinew on the back of that one. But all the other sinew backed ones I did were juniper. And there were at least 3 of those. Right? Maybe more. Or maybe I did an Osage. I did a snakeskin Osage on the back. I don't know if I put sinew. I don't think I put sinew on the back of that. Sometimes you can put sinew and then a snakeskin over it. I will sinew back bows if the wood is dicey. I prefer a self bow with no backing. And I used one time I used Type Bond glue, and then the other times I used hide glue or fish glue. I think I started using fish glue after the hide glue that I used. I did like 2 bows with hide glue, and you have to keep the glue hot, which was a total pain in the butt. So I switched to fish glue, which you don't need to keep hot to keep it liquid. You just need to keep it at room temperature, 70 degrees or so. Hey, Tommy Taylor, $5 super chat. The comment is, okay, I got you super chat for the 8 p.m. my time. Yeah. Thank you. I got at least 1 super chat now, so I'm not going to be sad when I'm napping. Yeah. Thanks, Tommy. Cool. All right, so what do we got? Chat's going pretty fast here. Giggity. You get all giggity? That's a good word. At Glass Buttes, people get giggity. Alan says, spring sucks most of the time at Glass Buttes. Brian got stuck this year. Oh, okay. It's Brian the one that got stuck. I recommend June to September to visit the Glass Buttes. All righty. Good information. Bushy says, that rock hound I found near me has 4 to 5 nappable rocks. One is India bloodstone, and has anyone ever napped it? India bloodstone? I've napped bloodstone. Does it come from India? Because I've napped green bloodstone, and it has green with red blotches in it. I might have napped another variety. I got some bloodstone slabs from a friend of mine, and I know I've napped the green variety. It naps well, but I think the ones that I got were heat treats, but I can't remember. And I think I've napped it on video too. So you can type in Jack Crafty Bloodstone. I think you'll come up with a video. Sal says, Jesse Garcia made me an Osage bow, sinew backed. Picking up tomorrow. It's a short bow. Only seen pictures, but I'm very excited. Awesome. So the next time I'm backing bows, I'm going to use tight bond again with sinew. Because the weather affects sinew after a while. And I have one bow that someone else made me, sinew backed with hide glue and sinew. And the sinew is already coming off. It's like 10 years old, and I barely shot it at all. But the sinew is already coming off of it. Yeah, you can reattach it by re-wetting the sinew, but I'm hesitant about messing with the bow because when I rehydrate any kind of wood, my experience has been when it starts to dry out again, it cracks. So I mean, I could make the bow even worse. It might be better if I just take the sinew backing off or peel off what is already coming off and re-sinew it. Anyway, if I use tight bond glue, I might not run into that issue. A lot of bows don't last 10 years because if you shoot it a lot, but just in case. Ross says, I just made it home. How's everyone doing? Doing okay. Yeah. It's Friday. All righty. Sal says, tight bond was used on this one. Yeah. It's a very good insurance against bad weather if you use the tight bond waterproof. Yeah. Hate to admit it, but I do that with knives too. If I'm going to sinew a knife that's going to be used instead of displayed, if I sinew wrap a knife that's going to be used like for skinning or butchering, I use tight bond and not hide glue because the blood and the fat and stuff will get into the sinew and weaken it and make it peel off if it's hide glue. Yeah. Especially if you want to wash the knife. What did they do back in the day? A lot of times they would just put a big blob of glue and stick the point in the handle with just a big blob of glue, and that's it. No wrapping. And if they did wrap it, it was under the glue. They put the glue over the top of the wrap, not under the wrap. So they might have wrapped the handle a little bit, so so the notch doesn't crack open when you're using the knife. You wrap below the notch, so if the knife stone cants to one side or the other, it doesn't crack open the wood. Know what I mean, Jelly Bean? So you're not wrapping the blade itself. You're just gonna put a bunch of glue in the notch, stick the stone in there, and then a lot of glue over the top of everything. Lots of glue. So much glue that it looks stupid, and it works. Bill Taylor says, how about putting the sinew on with E6000? Yeah, I haven't tried that yet. I got the E6000. I got a tube of it sitting there. I haven't tried that yet, but it seems like it would work. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with using sinew with like epoxy or maybe E6000 or any other type of adhesive. As long as the adhesive is the same flexibility or more flexible than the sinew, then you got no problems. If it's less flexible than the sinew, you got problems. And sometimes the hide glues, if it's like a bone hide glue mixture, it's going to be brittle. So you need to add glycerin to the glue to keep it flexible with the hide glue. Okay, I don't know the percentages, but you got to test it. And the easiest way to keep the hide glue flexible is if you add, what did I just say? Glycerin to the mix, just a little bit. Bushy says, what kind of cord or string do you use for a bow fire starter? I have to make one for an educational center. The easiest string for a bow drill is a rawhide string, but in a pinch, you can just go buy some. You can just go buy some sisal twine. Yeah, and then tight bond the sisal twine. If you want it to look natural, right? Use sisal twine. It's not going to be very strong, but you might be able to get a fire started. Something natural. Don't use jute twine. Make sure it's sisal twine or some kind of rope that is sisal based rope. You can get thin rope that's like a 1/4 inch. That'll work for a bow drill. It looks kind of natural. Um, Other than that, what else? Rawhide works okay. None of these natural materials are reliable to be guaranteed. So bring extra string and cordage with you. And make sure if it's plant cordage that it stays damp. You buy one of those spritzers. It's dampen the string before you use it, because a lot of times you just get started on the bow drill and it just flakes apart. It just crackles apart unless it's got some moisture to it. A little knapping lube, Patrick. What does that mean? Let's see. Ross says, been knapping Georgetown that is very sketchy, and I might need heat treated. Yeah. If it's not napping well, if it's Georgetown and not napping well, that's unusual. And yeah, it needs to be heat treated. Sal says, Patrick, I have a nice Osage stave I'll bring you if you're coming down. Yeah, I'll be there for the nap-in in Brady in October. Everyone's asking me, "You're gonna be here?" Yeah. I mean, It's gonna cost me a ton, just because of my circumstances right now. But I am gonna do it. Mac Bale says, I've used Type Bond in place of hide glue, even on violins. It's not traditional, but it works just fine. Yep. JB Weld Black. That should work on knives and stuff. Yeah. Bill Taylor, I prefer Gorilla Glue version of the E6000. I use a lot of it. I don't think I've used that before. I mean, I have some E6000 in it, like I said, in a tube. I don't know about the Gorilla Glue stuff. I have never used any variety of Gorilla Glue that I know of. Yeah. I don't think I've used any of it. Nothing that says Gorilla Glue on it. Jim Cooper says Yucca works very well for friction fire bows. Yeah, it's very similar to sisal as far as the fibers go. Bill says, pertaining to the E6000, it just takes a long time to set up. I see. Ferdo Joe says, sisal twine. Okay, I might have some rawhide also. Yeah, those are the two that look the most natural, that at least you can bring extras in case it breaks without costing a fortune or taking a lot of time to set up. All right, so it's all, in 10 minutes I'll start napping. I'm gonna keep a lot of different rocks here on the side so that when the next live stream comes up, I'll be referring to the same boxes basically. So you've gotten a chance to see what's coming up. It's going to be whatever I just showed earlier. And this is Nether's chart also is coming up. 550 degrees heat treat. Now the lighter colors don't show up very well, but once I start using up the darker colors, I'm going to have to go back to the lighter color. And there's a little bit of a variety there. Heat treat Royal Savannah slab. I will nap some of this on live streams also when I get around to it. So I got a bunch of stuff. So we're not short on material. Okay? We got lots of good stuff that I can nap. And some I haven't shown because I've got some heat treat jasper back there. I forget who sent it to me. Maybe Jim? Maybe Jim Cooper? Let's see. I've got tight bond hide glue, but it does not seem to set up when it warms. Yeah, I would stay away. I've heard bad things about the hide glue that you buy in stores, like the tight bond, for example. Yeah, I've heard horror stories about that kind of glue becoming useless in humid weather. It never dries when you buy the stuff from the store. Now, regular hide glue, if you make it yourself, that's the best. It will dry even in humid weather. It'll become dry enough. But when you buy stuff or when you use Knox gelatin, you don't know exactly what you're going to get. I think Knox gelatin is one of those that's kind of brittle when it dries because it has some bone mixed in. It's not just straight hide glue. It's got bone collagen mixed in with it, I guess, or cartilage or whatever. It's kind of brittle. So, like I said, what was it called again? Glycerin can be added to it. Tommy Taylor says, Frodo Joe, find someone that square bales hay. They will probably give you all the sisal you want from broken bales. Yeah, there you go. Brutus says, Gorilla Tape is awesome. My fiberglass tub got a crack. A hunk of G-tape took care of it. Been there for about 8 years. Oh, dang. I never tried backing a bow with G-tape, Gorilla Tape. Let's see. Ferdo Joe says, that's why I use black JB Weld. I used to use a real pine tar glue, but much easier to buy JB. Yeah. The pine rosin glues are for when you're brand new and you want to use something that's supposedly authentic. Very soon you'll get in a situation where it's going to be left in the car. The car is going to get to 160 degrees, and you're going to walk in, and you're going to see your points or your knife stuck in a gooey mess to your car seat, to the seat of your car or on the dash, and you will cry. Once you had that experience, that's like hitting bottom with pine pitch glue. You'll switch to something else. Yeah. It'd be smarter to switch before that happens, though. Jim Cooper says, yeah, it could be. I sent you some Jaspers. I think they are from you, Jim. All these big pieces of Jasper, I've only got them from one person. Well, I better not say that. But I remember I've got a lot of Jasper from you, Jim. Let's see. Frodo Joe says, Tommy Taylor, I might have some in my old dog coop. So Max says, let's see. Sal says, come on, use Flex Seal. Get that crazy dude and to slap it on there. Spray it on there, yeah. I know gelatin was made here. I went to Knox Junior High in Johnstown. That's interesting. Jim says, I've been using it for years with no problems, just something you get used to. Let's see. Not sure exactly what he's talking about. Fertile Joe says, I made a huge Georgetown knife, real pine tar. I had it under glass at a show, and guess what? It melted. Yeah. That's not difficult to guess. How many have I melted? I don't know. I don't want to admit. Fertile Joe says the Knox Mansion is a bed and breakfast here now. Ed Gould, you're in the house. You're lurking. Okay, we've got lots of people that are showing up, and it's getting close to the napping time. So let's see. Let's see what I got. People are rolling in. All right, so I'm gonna ignore the chat for a little bit. Let's see here. I need my lucky apron. Yeah, I'm gonna nap some of that stuff from Belize. It's exotic material. Yeah, I mean, there's tons of it in Belize, but it's exotic for us. And yeah, the Maya Indians used to use it. Yeah, they cheated. They had chert from Belize. Yeah, the Maya were not dummies. Okay, let's see. I'll get that out of the way. We got some chola. That's a good name for a rock from Belize. Yep. If you know Spanish, you know what a chola is. It's a nickname. All right. So let's see here. I knock off the weak areas first. And don't worry, you can flint nap. If a goofball like me can do it, anyone can do it. Right? Just try it and see. Yeah. Okay. So it looks like I can do all of this with indirect percussion. And I know some of you guys want to see billets and stuff. Oh, well. Hopefully you can see the angles. That's the most important thing, right? That's what I'm told by new guys. The angles are the most important. Must be true. Okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I don't know. My thought process is let's not break it and let's just do the worst first. You know, typical. The ends are already thinned down, so I can start hitting the middle here anytime I want. The ends are thinned. Usually that's what I try to do first, but it's already a thin-ended spall, so I can hit anywhere I want now. Yeah. And on difficult areas, I just zigzag it if I'm working the edge. You don't know what zigzagging is? I hit the microphone. Hold on. Whenever I hit the microphone, I gotta readjust it. I have to readjust the microphone every time I hit it because if I don't, it starts to wander. I start spitting and puffing into the microphone. Oh yeah, I figured out how to adjust the sound volume on my videos. So I'm going to be doing videos in a different format. Once I start posting videos again, you'll notice it's going to be a little bit of a different format. Okay? I haven't been posting napping videos because I'm working on learning a different format. I'll be doing mostly no talk videos and then I'll add narration later. And that's because I'm working with trying to control the volume on the napping videos so you won't get a lot of sudden loud noises, that kind of thing. Okay? I should be able to even out all the sound so that it's not going to be annoying. Yeah. We'll see. I've been taking time not only to do back orders, but to learn video editing. And working with AI imaging also helps me with video editing. I've tried to learn video editing before, but I lost interest because the subject matter is the same old, same old. I need to change it up. Yeah, so I've been working with some AI generated characters and content. All right. I don't post everything that I work on as far as what I'm editing. Sometimes I post something and oops, I posted something I was just gonna upload to see how it uploaded. I didn't mean to publicize it. Yeah. You getting the angles? Yeah. Yeah, I talk smack about that, but whatever helps you, don't worry about me. I'm just trying to be funny. A lot of times I'm not funny. I'm trying to entertain myself while I nap. You don't have to listen to what I say. If you want to learn the angles, get out your angleometers and stuff, go right ahead. I will make fun of you, but it doesn't affect your napping unless you let it. If you let my making fun of you affect your napping, I don't know. Your napping adventure is going to be very, very rocky. It's going to be a rocky road for you if you don't have thick skin, so to speak. Yeah. Okay, so I'll be blabbing and stuff during this. I'm going to try not to explain too much. When I do voiceovers on my future videos, I'll try to explain it better since I don't have to try to explain while I'm napping. It just takes me a long time to make videos with that kind of narration. That's why I have not been doing it much in the past. And why I haven't been editing videos, because it takes me time. It's just so much faster to just nap something on video and then post it, not even review it. Yeah. That's what I do 99% of the time. Just shoot a video and upload it, and then I'll review it. Sometimes the sound is no good. Sometimes I'm out of frame, so you can't see what I'm doing. Oops. I guess I got to take that video down. That kind of thing. I'm going to try to be better at editing. Yeah. You'll have to try to see what the angle is from this view. I would put the camera lower, but the camera and the computer can't take up the same space. I can try, but then I got to move the computer over to the side or something. It's going to mess up the lighting because I have everything's attached. The table where the computer's sitting has a light attached to it, which illuminates this view here. And the camera is on my phone, which is directly above the computer, so that I can keep everything in a tight space right here in front of me, so I don't have to be reaching to the side or whatever. Anyways, I'm working on doing a better backdrop. It's all kind of Christmassy right now. But I like it. But I got to make it look more professional. Okay. A lot of people want to know exactly what grit is this? Coarse. And what grit is this? The other one I use, coarse. Why do I use coarse grit on something so delicate like a heat treat? Because it's fast. That's like if it's fast, I like it. That's my first go-to. It's got to be fast, because if it takes me forever, I begin to lose interest, and it affects the napping. If I'm going, it's taking me forever, it affects the napping. I don't, it becomes riddled with mistakes. So I get impatient with it. That's good. You see that? Or you missed it? Too late. You missed it. Yeah, I'm trying to do a series of flakes, but it may not work. It's kind of crackly. See that? It cracked right there. It's kind of crackly. What do you do when it's crackly? Pray that it doesn't break. Oh, please don't break. That's not what I expect you to say. That's so weird, dude. Yeah, I know. I know it's weird. But what can you do? I don't know. Sometimes that's the only thing you can do. Well, you can do it right. Yeah, that's the default answer for everyone that doesn't know what they're talking about. Yeah. That's immediately you know when someone doesn't know what they're talking about. Yeah. That's why I keep making fun of that. Yeah, I'll even make memes about it. I haven't made any memes in a while. One of the reasons why I haven't made any memes is because I sit there and I generate images with AI, and then it doesn't do it. It doesn't do the image I want, right? So I got to keep going through many different images and say, okay, can I caption that image? Is there anything I could say to caption that image? Image is not that captionable. It won't give me what I want, so I've got to just look at it and see, okay, can I write something about it anyway? And a lot of times, nope, it's just stupid. It's not doing it. So I keep going and do it over and over and over. Finally, I got a picture that I can caption. Hey, that looks like I can write a little meme for the picture because it won't generate what I want. Yeah. So now you know. That takes time. It takes time to keep generating over and over these images to see if it comes up with one that I can actually put a caption to. You wouldn't believe the stupid stuff that AI comes up with when you put in the prompts. You would think that it would know what to do on something simple, but it doesn't do it. All right, so the hard part's over. I mean, hard part. The easy part's over. Now it comes the hard part. The hard part is not breaking it while I'm thinning it and not messing up the edges and not getting step fractures. Okay, it's not just not breaking it. It's not getting step fractures. It's not getting too many scoop outs that ruin the surface. If I do a big flake and scoop it out too much, it gets all curved. There's also step fracturing that can go on. There's also cracking along the edge that can, instead of cracking this way, it'll crack that way. It'll split it sometimes. A lot of different things that can go wrong once it starts getting really thin that are worse when it's thin than when it happens when it's thick. Okay? All right. Your range of motion and the angles tighten up so that there's very little room for error. Okay? The range of motion that you can go through start to become very limited when it gets thin. And the range of forces that you can use. And as it gets lighter, you have to hit harder because I'm still using the weight of the workpiece against itself, even though my hand also contributes to the weight of resistance to the strike. I am still using the workpiece mainly against itself, the mass of the workpiece against itself. Okay? Let's see, what time is it? I'm going to nap till 9:45 Eastern. Should I continue? Yeah, let me continue on this because it is cooperating. This is a very nice piece, actually. Even though continuing it at this stage risks breaking it, it's actually being very cooperative, so I might not have that much of a chance of breaking it. If it's cooperative and it does the flaking like you're hoping it's doing it, like you hope it does, the chance of breaking goes down. If it's not flaking like you want, you got to hit harder. You've got to change a little bit of the striking technique, either harder or maybe at a different, instead of going across this way, maybe diagonally across. A lot of artifacts have the flakes going diagonally and not straight across. In which direction, you can shoot with indirect percussion, you can shoot in any direction. You can shoot the flakes diagonally this way. You can shoot them straight across or like that, just with this one position. So if I strike like this, the flake goes that way. If I strike like this, the flake goes straight across. And if I strike like this, the flake goes the other way. You get it? So I can shoot flakes in any direction using this technique, right? Just by moving the workpiece. That's why I don't put the workpiece up here and do it like this, because I like to be able to have more of a range of motion than a pad will allow me. Okay? The pad does allow you to do this and do that, but for me, the pad interferes and it starts to drive me up the wall because it'll sometimes, like this end will touch the pad, and if you hit it, if you're trying to maneuver it this way and you hit it, and sometimes when the back end, let's say for an example, is hitting the pad, you'll snap it because you've got pressure where you shouldn't be putting pressure on it. Okay? Because you're bridging it between, let's say I put my finger there and the pad touches it there. This is a bridge. Your finger and the pad form a bridge. And if you hit in between, you can snap it just because it touches the pad. There's many ways, there's many reasons why I don't use the pads. Okay, I don't get into it because people will say, I never had a problem with that. What are you talking about? Okay, that's why I don't talk about it. But trust me, I've had issues with these things. That's why I don't use them. This is freehand. This is freedom to be doing it like this. I don't do it like this just so I can do the video like this. It's freedom for me. I can use it. I can flip this around. There's all kinds of positions I could put the workpiece in. I can, at any time, I can switch to any position. Okay? All right. Yeah, I like those. See, I hit it hard. To get a big flake, you got to hit it hard. That's why this is the sweat stage, because that flake could have broken the whole thing. All right? And how do I not break it? After thousands of hits, I know that if I hit it too hard, it'll break. But I only know that after thousands of hits. Okay? So I took a big flake and then a little, big flake and then a little flake and then another big flake. See? So it was like one big flake and then a little flake and another big flake. Why the little flake? Because what it did is it set up a better ridge for this second big flake. Now, did I control that? I directed it to where I thought it was going to go more than halfway. I did not control the ending of that flake. I don't know what it's going to do at the end. It could step fracture. It could overshoot. It could start diving in and hinge out. Instead of cracking at the end, it could dive in and pop back out. That's called a hinge, which is not a crack at the end. Like a step fracture is actually a break. When you can see there's still an incomplete fracture at the ending. This one feathered out. I don't control what happens at the end of the flake. What I control mainly is the middle of the flake, if you want to call it control. The easiest part of the flake to predict is the middle part, not the beginning, not the end. Okay? I'm directing the flake into a lump. I do not predict what's going to happen with the initiation. It could crack, it could do all kinds of weird stuff, or it can do like what it did. It cooperated and it did actually start the flake in the proper direction. This middle part here is the easiest one to predict because usually the flake will travel at least that far. And then the hardest part to predict is where it's going to end up. Okay, just so you know. And just so you can get all the nonsense other people talk about. Not everybody, but there's certain people that talk about weird things as far as flaking goes. I try to make sure that I'm letting you know how I perceive all this stuff. Okay? Some people want to know what my reasonings are and my mentality and what I know as far as predictability. How much can I predict this? They want to know how much I can predict and how am I able to do it? After thousands of hits is the main answer. Yeah. That's how I'm able to do it. After thousands and thousands of strikes on various materials. And I still get nervous because I know that a lot of this stuff is luck. It's a probabilistic skill where you're dealing with risk management. You see the angles, hopefully, if that's what you want to see. Okay. The edge is getting thinner, so it's going to be easier to crack the edge and crush the edges. So I end up abrading a lot at this final stage just to get the edge thick enough for these big flakes that I want. Why do I want big flakes at this stage? It's because I think it looks better with the big flakes. Let's see if I can show you. I like big flakes. Yeah. I like big flakes and I just can't lie. Or however the song goes. It doesn't say flakes, you know what I mean? Anyways. See, I like the big flakes. I just can't lie. At this stage. And I could stop thinning if I wanted to. If I just wanted to, reproduce an artifact, I would just stop at this thickness and then trim it up and notch it. But I want to get it a little bit thinner because I know I can with reasonable amounts of risk. I know I can proceed at least a little bit further without risking too much. After thousands of hits, I'm pretty sure I can go further in the thinning. And sometimes my fingers will interfere with the flakes and sometimes they don't. Sometimes the finger placement helps to support the flake by accident. I don't plan on it. Sometimes the finger position stops a flake and sometimes it doesn't matter. it would have gone there no matter if I had not touched it or touched it. Not touched it or touched it. Sometimes a flake is going to go where it wants to go anyway, no matter what. I don't pull, I don't do anything on this side with my fingers as far as pulling, pushing, or anything like that. It's all subconscious as far as holding it goes. I don't think about how I'm holding it other than does it need to be firm or loose, according to thousands and thousands of hits. I do consciously think of, okay, do I need a firm backing or doesn't matter? The only time I think about it is if, okay, maybe I need more than my subconscious is telling me as far as more firmness. I don't really think of maybe I need less firmness. I have a default holding position. And if I think I need more, that's when I think about it. Otherwise, I don't think about it. Yeah. Hope I didn't confuse anybody. What do I think about people that say you can pull and direct flakes with the fingers and stuff? I think it's BS. But that's just me. Okay? All right. If they think it does work for them, sometimes that affects the napping and it makes it work because of the attitude, not because of the pressure. Okay? Okay. So I cleaned up a little bit of that. See, I had a step fracture. I don't know. Anyway, I'll just show you the flake. I traded one step fracture for another one. So I did step here, but the one that came across from here looked worse, I think. But anyway, I can try to take another flake. But these are the kinds of flakes I like at this stage. Okay, all right. So that's what I'm going for. I want, flakes that are not little bitty. And it gets to the point where I think, okay, I've reached my limit. I can't go further without risking too much. Yeah, if I go further than this, I'm risking a lot. Should I? I should just leave it. All right, so yeah, I'm going to leave it and go on to the next piece. I've got like 20 minutes to do another piece. So this is what it looks like as far as thinness goes. And as far as the flake scars go. And I took a little bit too much off the edge there. You can tell it is getting thin when you see bites like that taken out. It means I'm hitting really hard without enough mass on the edge, so it's removing a lot of mass. But see, the step fracturing is not so bad. Like there's a little bit of it right there, but I don't care. And this one has got a pretty smooth surface. I can finish this out with pressure. Sharpen it, shape it, and if there's more lumps somewhere after doing pressure on it, I can try to remove more with indirect percussion. Like it looks like this side, which side? This side is a little bit lumpy. See that across there? I can run flakes here to get rid of some of that lumpiness. I can do that with pressure. I don't have to use indirect percussion. Unless it gets to the point where I'm tired of using pressure because it's just mentally fatiguing, I can just switch over. All right, so that's as far as I'm going to go on video with this. Okay, all right. That's my typical stopping point anyway. What else we got? How about this one? Sal's amoeba chert. This one is tougher than the last amoeba chert. We're going to see what I can do with it. It's like a 14 or 16 ounce bopper. It's pretty beaten up, but I'm still going to use it. Yeah. Still has some life to it. All right, so maximize it. Yeah, I know. What's my mentality on choosing the spot to hit? I don't know. After thousands of hits, I kind of say to myself, I'm just going to do I'm not going to do anything crazy. Just hit it where I think a flake can come off. It didn't come off right there. Oh, well. Is that a flaw in my thinking? No, it could have come off. I don't see why it didn't. It just didn't do it. I'm not going to get bent out of shape. It just didn't do it. Could be that this is all beaten up. Could be different things. So I want to thin the ends down. Yeah. Let's see. That didn't work. Sometimes I can take a big chunk off, but no, it didn't do it. That took a big chunk. But this is tougher than the last amoeba churn. But that's a good chunk that I can make something out of. It's a little bit curved. Yeah, but it's still okay. All right. And if I don't do anything with it, Sal, it's your fault. Yeah. Yeah, if you send it to me and I mess it up, it's not my fault. I can blame the person who sent it to me. All right, let's see. And you can tell the darker stuff is easier to nap than the lighter stuff. I don't know if you can tell, but just so you know, on this particular piece, that sounded like it was a bigger flake. What happened, dude? I don't know. It's not making big flakes. And that one kind of scooped it. Mm-hmm. Still good. I mean, I can make something out of that. This feels like it needs to be heat treated. Yeah. I bet you I can get it nice and glossy with a heat treat. Yeah, there's a good one. Some people call that overshot. If you lose width, it's an overshot. If you don't lose any width, then it's not. So I don't think I lost much. I think maybe I lost a little bit. Yeah, I did lose a little bit of width. So that would be an overshot. If you don't lose any width, it's not an overshot. And if it goes all the way across, it's called a coast to coast. Yeah. So do I like the overshots? No. Can't stand them. I want to have width so that I have some edge to work with for hitting more flakes. Come on. It's tough. Yeah. It wants to be really tough. This side naps well. Yeah. Am I in frame? Let's see. Ooh, that hurt. I went like this. That flake hit me. Right there. Ricochet. Ken, don't say that it's fun to work this. This is not fun. I want to take a poll one of these days. Maybe I'll do that tonight if I can remember. How many people actually have fun during the reduction stage like this? If you're having a little bit of a challenge. How many think it's fun? I don't think this is fun. This is work. Maybe it's just me. This is challenging. All right. Although this is the easy part, it's still not fun. The only time that I actually have fun making a point is in the very, very last final stages of sharpening or shaping. I don't enjoy doing the notching. I don't enjoy doing the bifacing. I don't enjoy doing the final thinning. The final The very final shaping and sharpening is the only time I actually enjoy it. If you want to know about having fun. Oh, the unboxing and testing. Like if I just take one flake off, yeah, I have fun doing that. Like, okay, what's in there? What's in this? What kind of stone is it? And I take one flake and I get a flake off like that. That's fun because I get to see what's going on with the stone. Yeah, I'm learning what the stone is like. But when it gets to, all right, now I actually got to make something out of it. Here we go. Here we go. And it could be extremely nice to work with as far as cooperation with the stone. It's less stress. It's just less stressful. It's still not fun. It's just less stressful. How many of you guys have broken really beautiful material that cooperates really, really well? So you get nervous. You get nervous when working good material because you're saying, oh, dang, I've broken this before. And this beautiful stuff, I only get this once every 5 years or whatever it is. Or this is a once in a lifetime stone. It snaps beautiful, but if I mess it up, I'll never forgive myself. Is that fun? No, I told you. Some people, they say, I don't have any of these problems, dude. What are you talking about? That's why I don't watch your channel. Unsubscribe and I don't like it. Yeah. Some people don't have these issues. They don't look at it the way I look at it. I think this cap's coming off more and more. That's why I'm not being able to get flakes. Okay, so let's switch over to another one. I'm going to ruin another one, okay? Let's ruin this one. This is not ruined yet. It's getting there, but it's not ruined yet. Okay, I'm going to have to hit it harder. This is so much fun. Yeah, I love that. I love that it didn't do anything. Golly. I can't contain myself. This is so enjoyable. Mm-hmm. Yeah, too much fun for me. I need to make something mess up so I don't have so much fun doing it. It's too much fun. Okay. I'm going to have to beat it to submission. Yeah, I'm going to have to beat it into submission and not care. I don't care. You're going to break it, dude. I don't care. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. Leave me alone. Yeah, but you're going to lose length doing that, dude. Leave me alone. Just let me do it. If it cooperates, it cooperates. If it doesn't, it's not my fault. Besides, I don't want it to cooperate too much. I'll have too much fun. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's got tough areas. Oh, come on. Finally. Mm-hmm. And like I said, this is the easy part. For me. Comparatively speaking. Where is it? Where's the next opportunity? I gotta. This requires a lot of beating. It requires quite a beat down. I'm ruining this. I'm ruining it really good. Come on. It's crushing. The edges are crushing. Yes. Yeah. They're crackalizing and crushalizing. Starting to get thin. Is it indirect time yet? No, it's not indirect time yet. Just get rid of all the delicate areas. If I think about what I'm going to do, I mess it up. So I'm not going to think about it. Sorry. You won't be able to know my mentality or what I'm thinking because I'm not thinking about it. If I think about it too much, I mess it up. Come on. I can't be doing that too often. I'm trying to hit a thin edge, and I know it's not going to work that great, but sometimes it actually does. But no, not this time. So this is the kind of stone that needs heat treatment. Yeah. But I think I can nap it down thinner. I'm going to switch over because when I start making mistakes like this, that means I've reached the limit of my ability. I'm going to switch over to indirect percussion to do the sweat stage. Yeah. Is it fun yet? No, it's not fun yet. Like I said, I don't have fun until the final shaping. Mainly because I know I'm not going to break it unless I'm stupid and drop it. So I'm cleaning it up right now, making sure that I remove a lot of the weak spots along the edges, because that's what's holding me back is the edges are a little bit weak for the kind of flakes I want. I want big, bold flakes. That's my usual procedure is big, bold flakes. When you're new, sometimes it's better just to do the small persnickety ones and get a lot of flakes, and and to get something like that. It just depends on skill level, I suppose. Come on. It didn't do it. This is so much fun. When it, yeah, it's so great. See, I didn't lose anybody. Yeah, it's only 35 people. I bet you 5 people checked out and they go, I don't learn nothing if he doesn't have fun doing it. I'm not learning anything. Yeah. That's fine by me. Okay. Is my next move a good move? Are all these very strategical? No, I bet you there's other ways to do this. It might be a little bit better as far as which flake first. Which flake next? I wouldn't have taken a flake there, dude. Well, good. You can probably nap better than I do. Yeah. or you know the procedure of flakes better than I do. You might have a talent for knowing what flake is better first. That is a talent to know which flake would be better to take in a certain sequence. Like chess moves, you know, it'll set you up better for the next one and so forth. Still not. Sometimes you gotta grind the crap out of it. Yes, like that. Man, these flakes are flying. Putting a lot of force in these. I'm not too worried about it snapping in half. But it's not thin yet. It's getting harder and harder. And more fun, huh? Dudes, just shut up and do it. You say you just want to do it, just do it. Still haven't gotten through that mistake area yet. I don't have much chances to get that right. I can't hammerstone with that particular grinder or abrader. There he goes. This one is a little bit harder as far as general overall hardness. I can hammerstone with it. The other one, for some reason, is not able to nap it. That one's just abrading it. This one just abrades it. It doesn't. I can't nap with it as well as I can with this. This one allows me to hammerstone the edge. As well as abrade it. Is that useful? Yeah, it saves time. Sometimes the flakes stick. That's why I do that, to knock them out of there. They don't want to leave. They're so clingy. They can be so clingy. Man. Still, the edge is still too weak, so I got to take it back even further. Let's see if that does it. It better does it. Yeah, it's not too shabby. All that force was just a little bitty flake. This is so much fun. Okay. All right. Are we there yet? We're almost there yet. Okay, hold on. All right. We're almost there yet. I gotta focus. Yeah, there's dead air. I'm not speaking very much because this is a very challenging piece at this stage. Hold on, we're almost there yet. I mean, I'm supposed to stop 2 minutes ago. But if I don't stay in the zone, it's not going to be easy when I get back to it. Yeah, I won't be able to do stuff like that. It didn't do it. See, at this stage, a thin edge is not supporting the kind of flake I want, and that's what happens. Okay. Let me see. Am I going to be able to sneak up on that one? I don't know. This is so much fun. Oh, it's not. Did it do it? Okay. It didn't do it, but I think I can put the flake back in place. It almost released that. I can see it's almost released, but I'm going to hit it one more time. Make sure that flake is in there. I don't want no little crumbs underneath that flake. There it goes. Fits in perfectly. Good. Yeah. So that second strike popped out of there. But I still have a remnant of the mistake from earlier. It's not as bad as it was, though. Let's see if I can get the rest of that out. It looks like I'm napping into concrete right there. I could try popping that out with the Nacho-Matic. But nope, I think it'll dive if I try that. So I'm going to try to get a flake to travel from the other side to hit that from back here, a rear attack on that. Yeah. Which means I got to lose width opposite. That's a long strike. I might not be able to do it. I might end up going to the islands. But it's the law of the West. I got to do it. Hate to do it, but it's the law of the West. I don't see any other way to do it. Because if I try to come in from this, it's not going to. If I try to come in from, let's say, this side, it's too weak. It's not convex enough. It's got a lot of scoop outs in this area. So if I run a flake into that, it's going to stop before it gets to that mass. I got to make sure this is convex on this side and then run a flake. I can afford to lose width on this side. If I lose width on the other side for a direct attack, it's not going to do much. How do I know? After thousands of hits, that's how I know. Otherwise, I have no other way of knowing. It probably makes more sense to just hit it from a closer spot, but I have a feeling it's not going to work. This is too much of a mass there. It's probably easier just to really whack it and try to get a flake to travel, because it already has a little bit of underneath fracture. It didn't stop right at the step, so there's a little bit of travel underneath that, so I don't have to travel all the way from this side to that step fracture. I just need to get to the ending of where that crack stops underneath it. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Let's see. This is going to be one of the hardest hits of the night. Dang it. So much fun. That was the hardest hit of the night. And look, I only got that. A little bitty flake. That's it. I just hit that extremely hard right there. and I got a little bitty flake only, but it was controlled. Yeah. Another huge hit. Yeah, I'm starting to go to the islands. They didn't go anywhere. And I think it's a step. Come on, get out of there. No? Okay. It did step a little bit. Right there. So what am I going to do? I'm just going to not talk and see if I can blow it out of there. Just keep attacking it. I'm just going to keep attacking it. See what I can do. That's all I can do is just keep attacking it. And if it stays in, it stays in. If I can't get it out, it's going to stay there. If I leave it for tomorrow, it's going to be harder for me to do it. Because the outside flakes were much easier than the inside flakes here. This is the interior of that spall. The outer flakes were easier. Shucks, I don't know. I don't know. Oops. Come on. I'm thinning the end down because I'm going to be hitting this super hard here. In a second, I'm going to be hammering on this like I want to kill it. It might kill it. So I'm thinning down the end so it doesn't have an excuse to snap in the middle. Because I'm going to be hitting it like I want it to die. Oh, I can't hammer stone with this. All right. A little bit. Still not that great. There it goes. Let's see. I'm not close enough to it. Am I? I might be. Should I use a billet? Sometimes I'm thinking I should be using the billet for some of this stuff. It's just not accurate enough. I don't want to mess it up by forming. If I get another step fracture behind it, it'll be almost impossible to get that out. If I use a billet, I don't know. Can I get the accuracy? I'll probably snap the whole thing. After thousands of hits with a billet, it feels like I might snap the whole thing. Yeah. Well, that kind of went there. I got it extremely hard hit only went not even halfway. So it's going to have to be more narrow. Yeah. Let's just try one more thing here. Yes? No? I don't know. See, I've already bent this. On that last hit, probably. On the last two hits. See how bent that is? That's how hard I'm hitting it. Let's see if I can. I'm going to try hitting that. And hopefully it won't tear off the end of it. I'll hit straight on the step fracture. Hey, it did it. I hit straight on the face with a step fracture as a last resort. And guess what? Popiola. It popped it off. It's still got a dip. Can you see? It's still got a little dip in there. And there's a dip on the other side right there. So those might have to stay in. So it got really difficult toward the end. And this one probably is going to go in the heat treat when I get to heat treating. Yeah, I don't want to thin this anymore in a raw state. If I want to get it thinner, if I don't need it thinner, I can just make a knife out of it in a thick state, which probably is the smart thing to do. But I'm not that smart. Okay? All right. What do we got for chat? Man, I tried to get in the zone with that one. I didn't want to disappoint, but yeah. A little bit disappointing on that one. Okay, glasses off first. Okay. All right, let's see what we got. Mm-hmm. Carson Wallace, I didn't see your entrance. You're new? Are you new? No? I have used antler tube for pressure flaking, he says. Mike Mason. Okay, who do we got in here? Autistic Berserker. There are many stones with similar hardness to bone or antlers. Every step can be done with a stone if you don't have access to other stuff. Sometimes. Stone, a lot of times, will not develop the same speed as an antler billet. Okay, speed is important in removing certain flakes, especially if you use the mass of the workpiece against itself. You don't get the same speed with a hammerstone. I know you didn't want me to jump into that conversation, but I put my 2 cents in. Mike Mason, let's see. Killer Cork is here. Mike Tufts is usually in these live streams as well. Yeah, Mike was here earlier. Carson Wallace says, does he have a channel or a place where he sells stuff? Yeah. Carson, I have auctions on the channel every Monday. And you can look back. I've got hundreds of auctions. Hundreds of auctions on this channel. Just type in Jack Crafty auction. Let's see. Mac Bale says, much more fun like this and you will go berserk. Oh, yeah, I've been there before. Antler people, rock people, copper people, steel people. Killer Cork says, he also sells on eBay, but I forgot his name on there. Okay, so are you talking about me or someone else? Probably someone else, because I no longer sell on eBay. Mike Tufts has an eBay store. Okay. Yeah, Sal, I can't read your comments sometimes. All right, so it's already 10:01. I'm going to wait a little bit longer, but I'm going to end the stream here pretty soon. Jim Cooper says, see you next week, Patrick. Yep, we'll see you later, Jim. The next live stream is on Monday during the auction. Starts at 6 p.m. Eastern. The next live stream. Autistic Berserker says, I guess I'll have to make a video to prove it. Alrighty. Yeah, do it. Make some videos and prove some stuff. Let's see. Oh, am I all caught up with the chat? Thank you for the super chat. I think I missed one earlier. Ed Gould sent me $5 for the little smellers. Yeah, we've got them outside every night. I don't put as much food out as I used to, so they stay for maybe an hour and that's it. Okay, so thanks, everybody. Thanks for participating. It is good to see everybody. Great live, Patrick. See you next week. Yep, we'll see you on Monday. if you're going to be there. Carson Wallace says, it's 9:02 for me. I need the energy drink. Yeah, that reminds me. I'm going to take another sip. All righty. Okay, I'm going to say goodnight, everybody. That was a little bit challenging on the last piece. And yeah, it's going to need some heat treatment. Or I could just break a knife out of it. It feels real sharp in those areas where I did not abrade it. Yeah. I'm not looking forward to trying to thin it, even as a heat treat, because even as a heat treat, you don't know what's going to do. You don't know what it's going to do. It could snap in half. Yeah. All right. Much different in properties than the first piece. Look, it's got an interesting study. It's got the same looking flake scar pattern, but completely different material properties. Okay? So that means you can learn to make the same types of flakes on different material. The same goes for you can make the same kind of flakes with different tools. Okay? You can learn to do that. Anyone tells you they can't learn to make the same kind of flakes on different material, or you can't learn to make the same flakes with different tools, is wrong. Okay? Just so you know. And there's not many people saying that, but just so you know. Okay. And I made a video showing you. Yeah. All right. We'll see you next time. See you on Monday. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.